Hello everyone and welcome to another Roaring Records tutorial. Today I want to show you how to use a website called onemotion.com/chord-player or the Chord Player presented by OneMotion to be able to make a fire sounding track in a DAW without too much difficulty. So here we go. Let's launch right in. Here we are on OneMotion. And if you've watched the video before this in the playlist, you've seen how to actually build a chord progression. But here I have a chord progression, and I want to turn this into something. So here's what my chord progression sounds like in Chord Player by OneMotion. So in order to get that over, I'm going to hit this button here and export to MIDI. And bada bing, bada bang, bada boom, it puts it there. I'm going to go over to SoundTrap. Now this is just a blank project, so I'm going to start a music project. And just to have a basic MIDI track first, I'm going to take this and now drop it in right here. And I'll zoom in so you can kind of see what I'm working with here. So I've got this track, and it sounds pretty much exactly like what you just heard, which is a good thing. So I'm going to put my cycle region over it so we can just stay right on this. Great. So I've got some bass sounds. I've got some chords. I like to call these bouncing block chords. They're playing pretty much full chords all the time there. So now let's turn this into something that really works. First thing I'm going to do is make a separate track, and I'm going to set that to be a bass sound. And I'm just choosing one that I kind of like already, but you can certainly go through and sample all the different ones. And I'm going to hold the Alt or Option key, depending on whether you're using Windows, Alt, Mac, Option, and copy and paste this by dragging it down to this. Now, all I'm going to do for the bass line is erase by highlighting all of it and hitting delete, that stuff. So now if I listen to this bass line, I've got a pretty cool sounding little bass thing, which means that I need to go up here now and take away the bass part, because I now have that covered. So when you put them back together, you've got this. Which is pretty cool. So I'm going to add another track. And this time I'm going to make a synthesizer track. I'm actually going to put this up above because I want a high sustained harmony to be able to fill in the parts here. So again, I'm going to hold Alt, click and drag, and make this up top. Now, I'm going to highlight all those things. I'm going to right click, change pitch up an octave, because I want to make these things thicker and more lush sounding in their chords. But to make a sustained harmony, I need to get rid of some notes. So I'm going to turn the volume down on that in just a second, but I'm going to highlight, delete everything that's not at the beginning, and then stretch the beginning note out to take up the whole measure. Again, I'm stretching to take up the beats that they exist on, just to give them some room. And let's go in and turn this into some kind of really smooth sounding So that almost has a string effect. So then when we go back, so that's starting to get pretty cool. Now I want to adjust this piano sound. So I'm actually going to pick a synthesizer that kind of bounces a little bit, maybe. Let's see. Yeah, let's try that. That's cool. And if you want to get a little more bouncy, let's see what my other options might be. Say you do have something like this that's more sustained. You can get in, highlight all of your sounds, drag the right edge to make them all shorter. So now they're all just a 16th note in length, and you can make those now begin to bounce as well. And then all you have to do to finish it off is, of course, add our ever famous backbeat to this, which is everyone's favorite drum beat, but it's always where I start for sure. And then you can be creative as you move away from this. But here we go, our fire beat made with our one motion chord generator, but turned into a pretty cool project. Cool. So there you go. That is how you could turn a basic chord progression into some cool layers that really sound thick and pop oriented using your chord player by One Motion. Have a great day. If you've liked this, feel free to hit the like and subscribe buttons below.